Enough with that though. Let's get on to the good. Guess I'll go back to the characters for this. Every single Chrysos heir feels like they were done pretty well. In terms of characters that I'm trying to pull up Cyrene so I can show. Where is it? Right here. So I can just show this. So let me move myself as well. I'll be clear for a minute. So in terms of the best written characters, I mean, let's be real. Finon's gotta be in the argument. Cyrene's gotta be in there as well. A lot of these characters are well written. But in terms of like the best, I'm thinking it's either between Finon, Cyrene, or Cypher has an argument, Maide has an argument. Most of these characters, you say that this is your favorite Chrysos heir. I'm like, alright, yeah, I got you. Tribi as well. Namely, Tribios, I think, was the best written. But a lot of these characters are very well written, likable, all that business, right? I will say, I think some of y'all gave a little bit too much flack to Sarija and Heistlands. They are good characters, well written. I think the difference is that they were not given as much spotlight as most of these other characters. That's what it is. They did not get as much spotlight as the other ones. They came in fairly late. So they feel like if they feel like they're shoehorned in, it's because they're at the end and then they didn't get as much spotlight as they probably should have. Like Don Hong and Evernight being right after that, I kind of feel like that makes them steal the show. Also, I'm gonna be honest, they were better written than Heistlands and Sarija, but I think it's because they were fan favorites, right? I don't think it's because they hate Heistlands and Sarija. It's just that they gave them the extra touch because they're fan favorites. I enjoyed the entire Chrysos heir cast though. TRAILBLAZE pretty done well as well. I mean, I guess meta-wise, I mean, everyone here is pretty good to great option. You're not really gonna do yourself wrong by picking up any of these ones, right? I guess let's start talking about character stories now. I guess I have a lot to say about them for you. I guess we'll go in version order, which I believe makes us start off with the Glaya. Glaya, I thought was pretty good. Okay, I'm talking in a comparison for all the Chrysos heirs. So like baseline, all these characters are well written, great characters. But in the terms of the Chrysos heir characters, I feel like Glaya was pretty good. She was not the best written by any stretch. Enjoyable. She did her role well, but I kind of just didn't enjoy her as much as the other ones, to be honest. So take that as you will, you know. On the other hand, Tribi. I hope I have the order right. I don't know. If I had the order wrong, oh well. Tribi was also extremely well written. Their argument to be my favorite Chrysos heir, the fact that Tribios isn't playable still hurts me to this day. I hope they change that at some point. Hopefully with the rebirth of Amphorius, fingers crossed. We'll see. I really like Tribi though, and it is a sad story, bro. It kind of hurts, man. I'm not gonna lie, but Tribi really good. Enjoyed all that. Of my favorite of the trio, I think my favorite is probably Trian, the little devious one, the one that's more devious. That fucking story. I believe in patch order next it would be Maide. I mean, might not come as a surprise, or might come as a surprise to you guys. I'm a mega big fan of Gilgamesh from Fate. So I don't know if this is obvious to you guys. Maide is supposed to be Gilgamesh for Honkai Star Rail, and they did a good job. They really did want him to be a Gilgamesh, and like I don't know if I need to really explain this. He's a demigod who is a king, and he's a god slayer. Or maybe not a god slayer. He becomes a god, you know, and then he manages his people himself. And he's a freaking powerhouse. I could go into more depth, but I'm not going to right now because it's a whole different, you know, focus. But they did a really good job at Maide. He's really good. I enjoyed him quite a lot. I would have loved to pick him up, but like I said, 3.7 just had so much, and I just had to not pick him up this time. Next rerun probably. Right now. Then after my day, I believe it was... Who was it? Am I tripping, bruh? I'm drawing a blank. Huh. I know an accent castration in the same patch, so who... I don't know. We'll talk about Anaxa next. I liked Anaxa a lot more than I thought I was going to like him. I like how he is very unique in his... I like how unique he was. He was like a denier of the gods till the end, but he literally had proof that they existed. I thought that was pretty funny. And then he's just like, they actually did make him really intelligent. And you know, if he's supposed to be a genius, you should probably make him really smart. And they did. Thankfully, they did. And then, yeah, it's so funny how dramatic they made him. Like when he freaking passed the hat the first time, where he just ripped out his heart and faded away into nothingness. Or I guess it was the core flame, but you get the point. And Axel was really good. I don't have much more to say about him besides the fact that he was really good. I enjoyed him more than I thought I would. I mainly pulled him because to be a Madam Herta sub DPS, but I have certainly not been disappointed in his performance so far. Next is Castorise. So she's voiced by Chiwa Saito in Japanese, who is the voice actor for Tamamo no Mae in Fate, and that's a big reason why I like her. Did a great job. I think Castorise is... I don't know if it's just I didn't connect with her story as much, but I don't know. I liked their story a good bit, but for some reason, I don't know, it was the vibing or whatever the heck it was, but I just didn't enjoy her as much as the other characters. She's well written. I don't know if it must have just been that fact that I didn't connect with her as much, despite having the voice actor connection there. I'm not sure what that was about. But I kind of enjoyed her a little less than Anaxa, which is weird because she was arguably the main focus of her patch, right? So the fact that it feels like she was a little worse written kind of hurts her a little bit. After that, I believe we have... I think it's Hyacinth next, right? I have something messed up somewhere. I don't know where. Also, one thing, if I have these characters wrong, like, you know, in patch order, that's my bad, because I played Amphorius basically in one big stretch with maybe like one break in between, taking a few days off, because a lot of information, you know. If I have them wrong, my bad. But Hyacinth, I thought, I do like the little ball of sunshine characters quite a bit, and she's exactly that. She has a little ball of sunshine. Ika being there, being cute as well, really did help her a little bit. I liked how she stepped up and did what she thought was right, despite not having, you know, combat power, really. Let's be honest, she's not a combatant, and she did a freaking really good job with that. I don't really have much else to say about her, but like, I don't know, I love Hyacinth, love little cinnamon roll characters, and she pulls that off to a T. Barbara wishes she could be this whole written, to be honest. I like how she stepped up to the mantle, though. Oof. Finon, Mr. Finon. Like I said, contention for best character. Easily, not even close. Like, it's between him and Made for the best written male characters, but I mean, not even that much of a stretch to say it's Anaxa or Permancer Terre for Don Hong either. That's how well written they made all the dudes in this version, or in these versions. Really good job. I don't think I need to explain why Finon's well written, right? I mean, he was also with us for arguably the longest amount of time. It's him and Sanrini that we spent the most time with. And obviously they wanted the two of them to be well written, friends, all that business. You know, they wanted them to be special, and they did that really well. Finon's story is so freaking sad though, dude. I hope that man finds some bliss after this, man, when you know, Voice is reborn. I haven't built him yet. I have him and his cone. We'll see When that is, I don't know. I'm trying to gear it for 4.0 right now, so I don't really have time to dip backwards right now. I'm building Sparkle right now. Anywho, love Finon, great character. Talk about Sarija next. I feel like a lot of people got rubbed the wrong way by Sarija. She just, to me, she just feels like that type of character where it's very easy to misread her because of how she acts or talks. She might talk like she's all that business, and you know, maybe she kind of is because of her deeds, right? What she's done. But I feel like she's one of those characters where it's so easy to misconstrue what she's doing and like why she's doing it. She's doing it for the betterment of the people, whether or not she's really stating it or not, and she's willing to throw her own life away to do so. She said it herself, she'd rather be forgotten by history than remembered for the deeds that she did. I know I'm saying that a little cliff notesy, but she pretty much, she doesn't care about her deeds being recorded. She just wants the betterment of her people, which, you know what, I can respect that a lot, and I do like Sarija quite a bit. It is also really funny how they made the short, one of the arguably shortest girls in the game, like they gave her the. I'm not gonna lie, she kind of got some aura. Okay, y'all can't lie, she got a little bit. I know she's short, so that might retract some aura, but she do got some aura. She did a good job, whether you guys agree or not. She did a great job. I mean, I think another thing, Sarija's role in the story was so large, but we really just didn't get to see enough of that. Like, she really, in terms of like, I mean, every part of the Chrysos heirs had their own role, right? But in terms of like the biggest role, Sarija has a huge one. Sarija did so much for the Chrysos heirs that I don't even think the game really stated how big of a deal it was in the story, because she really did do so much for the Chrysos heirs. And then she was, you know, one of the first to embark on the god slaying agenda as well. Great character. I just kind of wish they had given her some more attention, but they kind of didn't do that. Next is probably my favorite Chrysos heir, Hyslins. Like I said, she reminds me a lot of Meltrelus, and that is obviously not on purpose, or that is obviously on purpose. I mean, it's been shown. I mean, if My Day doesn't show you that they were inspired, also the fact that they have a Fate collab in the first place, Fate's a very big thing for the creators of Star Rail, and Hyslins is that for Star Rail. She is Meltrelus. That is who they are trying to make. Maybe not the character herself, but you know, aspects of Meltrelus were put into Hyslins is my point. I think she's well written. Another thing is, so she did have a pretty big role waiting for us for, I forget how many years it was, like 2,000 to 3,000 years, however much it was before we woke up to have that final fight with, well, what we thought was the final fight. Well, I guess it's the final fight with specifically, oh my gosh, what's his name right now? He had such a big role too, and I forgot his name right now. Oh my goodness. Xandar? I'm gonna call him Xandar. She had a big role in waiting that long for Xandar. And honestly, I kind of feel a little sad for her. She was just, it makes a lot of sense that she's Nihility because of how long she was waiting. I mean, after waiting for 1,000 or so years, you're gonna get a little bit numb just sitting there by yourself. So her falling into her delusions or illusions rather, makes a lot of sense. I do think I think 3.5's cast suffered from not getting enough spotlight. Like, they honestly should have had more. If anyone feels shoehorned in, and it's understandable that you guys might think so, it is Sarija and Hyslins. But they had big roles. They just weren't in the story for long enough to really feel like so. Like Tribi obviously had a huge role, right? But it feels like Tribi had a bigger role than anybody from the latter parts because of how long she was in the story, right? Like, Tribi's story was done being told in 3.1, 3.2, whatever it was. But she was around even after that. So her presence makes it feel like she had even more of a role. I'm not gonna say Tribi didn't have a huge role. She did. Like everyone, like I said, everyone here has their roles. But that's something to think about, is that Hyslins and Sarija basically did not have any focus before or after 3.5. Which kind of sucks. And that harms them. I guess we'll talk about Dan Hong next. Dan Hong, I mean, like I said, this is my favorite version of Dan Hong by far. It's not even close, honestly. Exploring the what's it called? Or the Grove being destroyed and all that stuff was really cool, honestly. I enjoyed that story. It really felt like it was just him and himself. Because I mean, it really was just him. And seeing that solo journey that he went on is just like, yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. I liked Dan Hong before this, but Professor Terry's story made me a pretty large Dan Hong fan, and I'm kind of just like, I'm down for whatever they want to put him in now. He's up there, you know. Did a really good job with him. And then they have the whole cinematic part where he was journeying for however many years it was, long ass time, 1,000 years, whatever it was. It was great. Then we have Evernight, who is and is not March 7th. My understanding, you guys let me know. My understanding is that Evernight is March 7th's past personified, or it was just some part of Amphorius that was sleeping and then got brought back to life somehow. We don't really know how. I don't think, unless I wasn't paying attention. I thought I was, though. Evernight, regardless, great character. I loved her. Kind of feels like the John Alter of Star Rail to me. I'm sure that was on purpose. She kind of feels like the antithesis to, I hope I use that right. I don't use that word that much. To March 7th, so I thought they did a good job, though. The V is very interesting as well. I don't even know what to say about her. It was cool that she was so much of a threat that all of the cast had to freaking deal with her because she was just that big of a problem. And she didn't exactly have the wrong way to go about it. It's just like the way that Evernight wanted to go about it was not a happy ending for everybody involved. There were some sacrifices to be made, which, you know what? At the time, that is understandable. Obviously, the Trailblazer was having none of that. So we did what we did, and obviously it turned out better as a result, but Evernight's train of thought wasn't exactly wrong. Now we go to Cyrene, who's last. Cyrene, like I said, probably one of the best written characters in Star Rail overall. Same thing with Finon. There are some parts of her where it kind of feels a little waifu-y. Nothing wrong with that, but it feels like a little too in your face sometimes. Like them being like the player's bride and like, hey, she is my wife, right? Like we're not gonna say she's not, okay? But they kind of went up. Sometimes they leaned a little bit too hard into that. I'm not gonna lie. I did like the whole becoming her own person thing, though. With I guess I won't talk about it too in detail because I mean, there's already spoilers in here, I guess. But I don't know. In the event somehow you haven't touched 3.7 story, I'm not gonna talk about it. But I like how she came into her own. I like all the iterations that we've had over all the different loops, all that stuff. It was really cool how they brought that about. Man, my love is a character as well. I think the little Cyrene is probably better written than the big one, but I mean, they're treated as the same person, even though I honestly, in my opinion, her and the little Cyrene are not the same person, and they don't, to me, they're all the same person. To me, this is Demiurge. This is not Cyrene. So, but still rolling regardless. Take that as you will. I mean, it's the whole memories thing, right? Does the memories make the person, or does the body make the person? All that stuff. My opinion that this is not the original Cyrene. I had that thought when I was reading it, but then turns out that's not really the case. He has all the memories of all the Cyrenes, though. I guess I'll say it that way. So, yeah, it just depends on how you view a person as a person, I suppose. But in my opinion, this is Demiurge. Anyway, regardless of all that, well written, like I said. They did put a little bit of bloat on her, to be honest. But I mean, like I said, every freaking Hoyo story has some bloat in it, whether you want it or not. It's gonna be there. Maybe Planet Arcadia will be different because they had to change all the stuff, but we'll see. Time will tell. Well, I really didn't love the whole sacrificing she had to do, but you know, it makes sense. It 100% makes sense. Those I'll have to do it for the characters on Aureus. I suppose I'll just... I kind of was talking about my journey somewhat, but I'll just talk about it now. So, Star Rail came out. This is just like a review of me on Star Rail as a whole, right? I was kind of just... I somewhat weaved it into, you know, me talking about the planets, but... So, my journey with Star Rail. It came out. It was either launch day or launch week. I put in however many hours I put in. I either beat Euro 6 or I got halfway through it. I don't remember which one. Wasn't feeling it. Dropped it off. Maybe said maybe I'll come back later. Wasn't really that interested. I'd rather just play Genshin at that point because Genshin was in a better state in my opinion. I know Star Rail had just come out, so it hadn't come into its own yet, but I was way preferring Star Rail. Not Star Rail. Genshin. So there was that. And I don't know however long it was, 1 or 2 years. 3.4 comes out. And then the Fate collab comes out. So now it's, you know, Saber and Archer, right? So these two, wherever they are. So these two come out. I come back. I then say, oh, they have 8 characters in this game now. I had also been, I learned about it online, but then I went to AX, or Anime Expo for those who don't know. I'm American, you know. They had like a booth there, and I was like, okay, I think I will be tapping in. That guy looks like Gilgamesh. That's interesting. I'll think about that for later. Come back from Anime Expo. These two come out, Saber and Archer, right? So then pick it up again. I played through Euro 6, and I don't really have much of a different opinion with Herta. That and Herta Space Station and Euro 6 from last time. Same idea. Like, yeah, it's pretty good. Nothing crazy though. I'm gonna stick to it though. I wanna see what endgame looks like in this game. Just see if it maybe I'm here for the gameplay instead of the story. That does happen occasionally for me. Not always, but sometimes. That's kind of where I am with Zenless right now. I mean, I enjoy the gameplay of Zenless more than I do the story right now. Anyway, go to the Lofu. Started actually enjoying myself. I'm like, okay, not bad. This still isn't at the point where I'd make it a main game of for myself, but you know, enjoyable. Okay. Then Pinakani hits. And I'm like, whoa. I don't know if they changed writers or something here, but they really cooked here. Okay. So now I'm just like, whoa. I'm enjoying this a lot so far. If they keep up this pace, this could actually be a mainstay from now on. And then they pretty much did that with Pinakani. I thought it was pretty much good all the way through. I don't really have much to complain about there. I'm not looking for stuff to complain about, but if it pops up, it pops up, right? Pinakani didn't really have that. So I'm like, okay. I was feeling good. Then I started in Forest, and then I'm like, dude, you guys, I'm a visual novel player. You guys are crazy about the bloat stuff. And then I get to the bloat, and I'm like, oh, okay. See, now I see. I get you. Still enjoyed myself. Not gonna say I didn't. But there's some stuff in Euphorius that, let's be honest, I did not need to put in there. There are some things that just ran the time up and up and up, and we did not need to have that. I don't think it made the story worse per se, but it would have made it better. It didn't make it worse, but it would have been better if it was more concise and to the point. It didn't have all that bloat. Hopefully in the future they won't have as much bloat, but you know, time will tell as per usual. But now, I mean, as long as the stories are as good as Pinakani or Euphorius, I think I could be here for quite a long time. I think Star Wars is in a good state right now overall. Obviously, there's the whole, at the time of recording, we'd have the Phase 3 going on with the banners, right? the phase 3 that shouldn't exist, but the delay happened, so then, you know, we freaking have the delay now. Not their fault. But yeah, I mean, I know this is a little weird, but I mean, let's be honest, they could not have done anything about delaying Plan Arcadia, or otherwise named Edo Star. Can't name it that anymore because of all the stuff that happened. I think it's in a good state despite all this. Because, I mean, let's be real. If it didn't get delayed, Plan Arcadia / Edo Star would have been way, 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 way better. I'm not saying that it's gonna be, you know, bad now, but there's a good chance that they pulled out a lot of the stuff that made it really good. Because of all the real world stuff that happened. I hate that it happened, but we can't take it, we can't change it back. So hopefully, assuming that they had to actually pull all this stuff out, hopefully we can get all those concepts and all that other stuff later in Plan Arcadia once we're actually like back to, you know, not being, you know, weird having those problems in the real world. So I'm not gonna claim to know how big of a deal it was, but you know, it happened and it is what it is. Despite that, I still think Star Roll's in a great spot. Like meta wise, yeah, you guys are saying all, I know I'm saying this with like basically the premium team for Remembrance, but I feel like it's in a pretty good state, right? Most of the time in these games, you pick up meta team and then you're fine for the year, and then the next year comes around and you either reinvest in that premium team with Eidolons or you pick up the new team, depending on what you want to do. Most of the time picking up the new team is better, but the fact that you can even do investments vertically and then it works out for you, great. Overall, dang, it's a longer video than I thought it was going to be. I might split this up into parts so you guys will see. If it cuts off midway, you know, that's why. But this is a little long as a recording right now, so good chance it'll be cut off, cut into halves, whatever the heck. Regardless, hope you guys enjoyed the Renelzi Star Roll journey, and we will be led starward in 4.0 in I will see you guys in Plan Arcadia in 13 days from this time of recording. Like I said, there's still going to be Star Roll content. I'm going to try to make this a Star Roll week for content. We'll see what I can put together. One thing I haven't done yet. Where is it? I haven't done an anomaly arbitration yet. I unlocked it. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Maybe we'll trap into MOC. We'll see. Might record it, might not. I will give you guys an anomaly arbitration though. I am curious to see how we do in there. I'm hoping even for 1 star per night, to be honest. I don't have high expectations. Regardless, if you guys enjoyed, do not forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Laters.